Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Rachel Zerin here with a thought for Shabbat. This week we read Parashat Re'eh, in which Moses continues to deliver instructions to the people on how to behave once they enter the land of Israel. Within this parasha is contained a passage which I find to be one of the most profound teachings, in which we learn what is perhaps one of the most important lessons on how to be a person of faith. After describing the laws of the sabbatical year, which includes the remission of debts, a sort of economic reset button that ensures a more equitable society, we read in the Torah, "Efes ki lo yihya becha evyon," an unusually worded sentence which translates roughly, "Never will there again be a poor person amongst you." That paragraph goes on to describe how and why that will be, creating a vision of a society in which everything is shared and equally accessible, in which everyone has what they need to live a fulfilling life. And yet, the very next paragraph opens with a sentence that uses almost the same words, but missing a few key points. Ki yihya becha evyon, when there is a poor person among you, this is how you should act towards them. Two paragraphs, one right after the other, often translated within our Tanakh, our Chumash, as "there shall be no needy," and "when there is a needy person among you." Two seemingly contradictory statements, one right after the other. Of course, this passage has a lot to teach us about how we care for others within our society, both on a one-to-one level and how we create systems of equity and strive for an equitable world. But I think this also teaches us how to balance the search for the ideal with living in the real. Efes ki yihya becha, we must hold on to that vision of the ideal. What do we want the world to look like? What do we want to strive for in this world? What is our goal, our greatest hope, our wildest dream? And ki yihya becha, when reality strikes, when things do not go the way we want them to, how can we act to move things a little bit closer to where we want them to be? Knowing the ideal that we have in mind, how can we live in the real world and still work towards the ideal that we hope for? My prayer for all of us this Shabbat, and as we enter the new month of Elul later this week, and as we launch ourselves into a new year, is that we can hold both of these statements, envisioning the ideal while being able to live in the real, working our way towards the other, so that eventually, perhaps, they both are one and the same. Shabbat Shalom.